The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the iSpring Solutions webinar. Thank you very much for joining us today as we are going to talk about iSpring Suite 9 and all the new features that appeared in this version. My name is Paulina. I'm the community manager at iSpring, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar. As a presenter, I have invited my colleague Stefan Burley from Support Department. Hi, Stefan. How are you today?
Hi, Valina. How everyone? Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks for asking. So, Stefan is a senior technical support engineer at iSpring, and he's been working on the documentation for iSpring Suite 9, and he will be very happy to disclose today's topic for you guys. And also, if you're wondering how you can get this new version of iSpring Suite 9, my other colleague, Jana Volk from Customer Success Department, will be happy to answer your questions. Hi, Jana, are you ready for the webinar?
Hi, Paulina. Hi, everyone. Yes, I will be glad to answer all your questions how to get the license or to get the upgrade if you already have the previous one. So you're welcome to ask all your questions via chat box. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yana. And guys, today's webinar is going to be a little bit different from our previous sessions. And the difference is that we're going to divide it into three parts, the three major updates in the quiz maker, the new video editor, and also visuals, aka interactions. And for each section, for each block, I have invited an expert. So for Quizmaker, I have invited Mike Sarantala. Hi, Mike. How are you today?
Hey everyone, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Hope you're
Mike,
all ready.
I hope so too. Mike is a manager of interactive development at Knowledge One, and he is also an iSpring user. And he has been presenting with several sessions at eLearning Guild's conferences, and also did a webinar for all iSpringers about how to turn static PowerPoints into interactive online course. So the next block will be about video editor, and the expert for this block is Michael Shiashi. Hi, Michael. How's it going?
That's going great. Hey, everyone. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And he has great experience in information technology, e-learning, and innovation spanning 2 decades and several industries. He specializes in animation, simulations, and interactive content. So thank you very much, Michael, for joining us today. And the last but not least block is dedicated to visuals or interactions. And our expert for this block is Debbie Richards. Hi, Debbie. How are you today? Thanks for joining.
Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here. I've been an iSpringer since the product came out, and I'm excited to talk about some of the new innovations in iSpring Suite 9.
Awesome. So let me please introduce Debbie. Debbie is the president of Creative Interactive Ideas, and she was named one of the most influential people in corporate learning in 2016. She works with clients to design, develop, and deliver adult learning programs with measurable impact. So, okay, I have introduced all our experts, and right now I'm going to tell you guys if you would like to ask any questions, please do so. If you look on the GoToWebinar panel, somewhere at the bottom, you will see the question box, and this is where you should submit your questions, either addressed to iSpring experts or invited experts, which I think is a wonderful opportunity. Again, the video recording will be available to all the registered and also attendees. So I will be sending it as soon as it's ready. But I would very much like to encourage you guys to stay to the very end of the webinar because I think it's a wonderful opportunity to address your questions to iSpring experts, users, and staff. So, okay, I think that we are ready to actually start with a very exciting topic for today. And let me please pass the mic over to Stefan as well as the presenter rights.
Okay, thank you, Paulina. Okay, I hope everyone can see my screen right now.
Yes.
Okay, here it is. Great, Valina. Okay, so today I'm very excited to introduce to you iSpring Suite 9. And I promise you, iSpring Suite 9 will help you to accomplish even more e-learning goals. Sorry. And first, I'm gonna tell you a couple of words about what iSpring actually is. So iSpring Suite is an authoring tool for e-learning courses. Essentially, it is a PowerPoint add-in, which you can find on the main PowerPoint ribbon. Here it is. You can take your PowerPoint presentations as the basis and supercharge your slides with all sorts of enhancements. Audio and video narrations, quizzes to check your users' knowledge, dialogue simulations, interactions, and screen recordings. In addition, we have a huge content library with more than 50,000 assets, including cutout characters, backgrounds, icons, and slide templates. And we are constantly updating the library with new items. As a result, you get extremely entertaining and interactive e-learning courses which can be uploaded to your website or to your learning management system and viewed on computers and mobile devices like smartphones and tablets. iSpring Suite allows you to create all kinds of courses from healthcare to manufacturing. Our existing customers work in schools and universities or create corporate training for their companies. And again, today I'm presenting to you iSpring Suite 9, and here are its highlights. Advanced video courses, an extended set of interactions, new drag and drop questions. There are also dozens of small improvements and new features, which will make the course creation process even smoother. Okay, less small talk. Let's go straight to the point. First, I'm going to tell you about iSpring QuizMaker 9, the quiz making tool. iSpring QuizMaker is now enhanced with a new drag and drop question template for training skills in realistic situations. We also completely revamped the interface and simplified the design of questions and intro slides to create a better workflow. Now, let's have a closer look at the new features. Create, drill, and practice exercises with drag and drop questions. Drag and drop exercises engage learners and help them master complex topics as well as practice professional skills. Students get actively involved in training. They can drag images, shapes, and text fields and practice the right actions in a game-like environment. With drag and drop, learners can place elements at the correct positions or group items that belong together. For example, you can create a task on product shelving for a merchandising course or ask employees to put protective equipment on a course character. For example, a task to drag objects to the appropriate places will help your learners practice waste sorting, select the correct tools for the job, or pick dietetic products for a patient. You can also make an exercise for placing objects in the right order. For example, ask a salesperson to repeat a process of working with objections. Then, train via tests with extended feedback. Give learners extended feedback to help them review their mistakes, remember a complex topic, and improve results. You can explain in detail why an answer is incorrect and provide learners with topic-related facts or even a whole article. If a learner answers incorrectly, you can give them a hint. If they've used all the attempts, provide them with extended feedback. Creating feedback is very easy. Just type your text and insert images like in Microsoft Word. You can support feedback short instruction on your topic. Then analyze answers in the Hotspot question. In the Hotspot question, you can now mark all correct and incorrect areas. You will know exactly how the students respond and will be able to improve knowledge on all sorts of complex topics, like advanced equipment and mechanisms. For example, you can check which parts of an air compressor students confuse most often and add detailed explanations to a training course on power tools. Then easily create tests with equations. With the built-in equation editor, you can add a square root sign, a fraction, an integral, or any other math character. Right in the question text. Subscript and superscript symbols are right on the toolbar, so you can add exponents or type a simple chemical formula. For example, you can create tests on drug dosages for doctors or pharmacists, or on product info for pharmaceutical reps. Then, distractors for more complex matching questions. Now you can add distractors to matching questions. Learners will think over each pair of answers and won't be able to pick the correct pairs by just eliminating choices one by one. For example, you can ask learners to match sales stages and actions, or check if they're familiar with professional terms. 7 Likert scale templates to collect feedback really fast. With ready-made Likert scale question templates, you can measure learners' satisfaction with their learning path, the quality of training, or their attitude to an e-course. You can also create a new scale from scratch, save it as a template, and use it in other tests. Then, pre-test instructions. Prepare employees for an assessment. You can add instructions at the beginning of the test so employees can get ready for their tasks. Explain what sections the test consists of, how many attempts learners have, and how many points they should score. You can also tell learners how to work with the test, how to check out the question list, go to the next question, and finish the test. Even if there is a time limit to finish a test, the countdown will start only after the intro section, and students won't spend precious time reading instructions. Inspiring workspace. In iSpring Suite 9, we've completely revamped the QuizMaker interface. The workspace is now organized in such a way that the most important features are right at your fingertips. Test questions are in the central part of the window, and settings and slide preview are in the toolbar right on the right. Now you can make any test question either graded or survey. For example, you can start a test with a short survey or collect feedback on your content at the end of the assessment. Plus, version 9 supports high DPI resolution. It is now easy to create tests for 4K and other high-resolution display, even with custom scaling settings. Then, test design freedom. Explore various question layouts and polish info slides, feedback, questionnaires, and result slides. Now, all of these are in the visual editor. There is no need to constantly switch between different modes. Just select a layer and start creating. Designing a test is as easy as in PowerPoint or Word. You can create several text blocks and add images and shapes and fine-tune transparency, shadows, fill, and outline. For example, add captions to photos or create a unique design for the results slide. Okay, that's pretty much it about iSpring QuizMaker, and I'm really excited to hear the opinion of our experts on our redesigned QuizMaker now.
Awesome.
Lena?
Yes. Thank you very much, Stefan, for this wonderful intro into new features of iSpring QuizMaker. And I would like now to address my questions to Mike Sarantola, who I think was among first beta testers. Is that right, Mike? I think that's right.
I was, and I was honored to be a part of it.
Awesome. So, Michael, my first question is, was it easy to create a quiz?
It definitely was, especially with the new drag and drop tool. It was not as complex as in other e-learning authoring tools that I've used in the past.
Great. And can you give some examples where would you use the new drag and drop feature?
Well, as Stefan mentioned previously, the drag and drop actually opens up two types of questions. You can drag one target to one area, or you can create a categorized drag and drop where you can classify information in several categories. That has been our limitation for a while when choosing an authoring tool. If a client requested something with a drag and drop, unfortunately, we weren't able to use iSpring, but now this will become a game changer.
Great, thank you for that wonderful answer. And can you tell me what features did you like most in this new Quizmaker? What did you like most about it?
Well, most of the feedback I've sent in the past, I feel has been addressed, so I'm very happy with this new version. Among some of the feedback I've sent in the past was the drag and drop question, which has been implemented, the try again feedback, which has been implemented. In the past, a lot of our clients wanted to have the information pop up when you got the answer wrong, but only at the end of all of your attempts. In the new dynamic Quizmaker 9, if you have an attempt set to 2 or more, you will get a third feedback box so you can hide the right answers until all the attempts are gone. That as well has greatly increased the way we give feedback to our learners, as well as the enlarged box that supports images in line with text and subscripts.
Great, thank you very much for the detailed answer. And do you have any recommendations on Quizmaker? What is something that you still would like to see in the future?
Well, this is a hard question because I would probably need to think of something new. What I am a fan of in this version is that we've merged the quiz player with the iSpring player. So a lot of the comments we've received from clients in the past were to be something like, why is the submit button on a new layer and not in line with the previous and next? So now I feel like this maximizes real estate, and also it allows for better quality images to be injected in the background. I find the publishing for the new images and quiz slides is amazing.
Awesome, thanks. And there's a question from Robert. What is your favorite quiz, and which do you find is the one that students like the most?
I feel that drag and drops have a more higher rate of engagement from learners as they get to actually interact with the quiz itself, and it's a lot more fun than a regular multiple choice. So now that we'll be able to use drag and drops, we're definitely gonna have a lot of fun questions, especially since you can create your own page layout to support any of the quiz material you need.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. So my questions are that's it on my end. And guys, if you have any questions for Michael, please keep them coming in and we will definitely address them during the Q&A session. Okay, I think this is the high time to move on to the next block, which would be the new video editors. So Stefan, right now I'm passing the mic over to you.
Thank you, Paulina. Okay, now let's explore the features of iSpring Cam Pro, the best screencasting tool of iSpring so far. With its help, you can educate your learners with video courses, software tutorials, and video lectures. Mix and edit videos like a pro, even if you've never done it before. Okay, let's have a close look at the Video Studio's powerful features. Picture in picture for your screencasts. With iSpring Suite 9, you can record 2 videos at the same time, a screencast and a webcam video. You can show both streams together or easily switch between them. For example, help new hires to master an intricate app by adding your video comments to a screencast-based tutorial. Then, software tutorials with visual hints. When you record a screencast, iSpring Suite automatically detects when you click, type, use hotkeys, and adds visual cues for these actions to the video. You can show your learners how to use hotkeys, explain which button is for, and teach how to use the app step by step. Video-based courses with experts. With the new iSpring Video Studio, you can bring together videos, voiceovers, photos, and merge them into a professional video course. For example, record a video with an expert and support it with text and graphics. Plus, you can pepper your video with helpful insights to highlight the key points and boost retention. Then, With the Pro part of iSpring Cam comes the professional video studio with robust editing features. Interactive canvas, like PowerPoint slides. Now, you can add videos, images, text blocks, and shapes and edit them on a canvas, just like in PowerPoint. Move and resize all the objects to find a layout that fits best for your project. For example, expand the video to full screen and focus learners' attention on a charismatic instructor, or hide a talking head video to show key findings on a topic. Multi-track timeline for audio and video. There is an unlimited number of tracks, so you can add as many layers as you need. With iSpring Suite 9, you can merge videos from multiple tracks, add audio, and even show 2 videos at the same time. Don't worry if you cough or misspeak while recording. You can cut out unwanted fragments or merge a video from several clips. Title screen and annotations. Grab attention right from the first scene. Start a video course with a bright and compelling intro and add infographics at any point of your video. You can use images or create annotations, graphs, and captions right in the video editor. Smooth transitions between scenes. Smooth out the transitions between videos, info slides, and photos. You can adjust transition effects to make the images ripple into videos and videos smoothly flow back into images. Okay, that's pretty much it for the iSpring Cam Pro. As you can see, it's really powerful and it's something that we've never had before. And I'm again pretty much excited to hear Michael's opinion on this one. Polina?
All right. Yeah, thanks, Stefan. So we're moving on to interviewing Michael Shiashi. So, Michael, my question's about iSpring Cam Pro. So, how did you like the recording screencasts process?
Oh, thank you, Polina. Well, first, I was actually very pleased to use it. It was easy to use. The interface was clean and uncluttered. I was delighted to see the multi-timeline editor. I played around with some different aspects, as similar to what Stefan is doing below. So I was quite pleased at this improvement. So good on you.
Awesome. And would you use such screencasts in your e-learning courses?
I certainly would. I do a robust sort of around the horn different types of e-learning, some of which includes these sort of needs for screen captures. Some of them include the need for talking head, and a lot of it could be controlled and edited in this editor. So that's very good. So I do a lot of different types, including showing someone how to literally do something on the screen. So this could be quite helpful in that way as well.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And Michael, did you use multi-track timeline?
I certainly did. I found it very easy to use. It took me a moment to understand the transitions, but once I did, it was quite easy to use and facilitate. So I really did like the fact that it was visually there. I have a history, or I have a degree in film, so film editing is part of that gambit. So it was good to see a lot of the sort of straightforward, easy to use tools that we've used over the years.
Awesome, thanks a lot. And what about video editor interface? What are some things that you liked in it and maybe didn't like?
Well, as I mentioned, I love the clean look. I love that you've pared it down to the essentials that you need. And a lot of what you find in webcam and screen capture programs is, yes, they're easy to use. For the iSpring Cam Pro, I like the easy hotkeys. So I like the start and stop. It might be interesting to see, a pause or something like that in the hotkey, but it was very easy to use, very intuitive. Some other items, of course, as we look towards the future, the ability to add different fonts, and that may be in there, but I just saw a select number of fonts. Now, again, that may be based on what it sees in my system and whatever, but the ability to bring in sort of web fonts, or, just put in the link for whatever. Understanding how this works with closed captions and other items, so understanding the accessibility part of it. Again, these are things I'm still drilling down into. It would be interesting to see how these move forward in version 9 as it progresses in the future. I noticed the transitions. Those were fantastic to use and easy to snap on each individual element within the multi-layered timeline. I really liked that. It would be also interesting to see in that similar vein, like PowerPoint, entrance animations and exit animations. For instance, just making something zoom in on screen as it comes in, or retract as it goes away. So it looks great. I liked it. It was easy to go up and down the timeline. I might look and see the best way to edit the audio if needed in the tool. I wasn't able to explore that. I did see it in the tool, but I wanted to sort of drill down and get more information. So these are just some general thoughts, but overall, again, pared down to the very essentials of video creation and editing, fantastic look and feel. Just looking at, as we look at more interactions and how those work in the future. So.
Well, awesome. Thank you very much for your detailed feedback. And I would like to read out loud one comment from Robert that I see in the chat right now. He says, so jealous of Michael Shiashi and his background. I would love to see some examples of what he does with video. I would love to see a webinar on using video. And Robert, if you would like, I can share with you a webinar that Michael did on iSpring, what you can get out of the box. And he actually created really nice course, which everybody was blown away. So I will be actually sharing that link. Okay, so again, thank you very much, Michael, for sharing your opinion. Really appreciate it. And guys, if you have any questions to Michael, this is your chance to address them. We will be taking care of them during the Q&A session. And right now, let's move on to our last, but I think the favorite part of the new enhancements in QuizMaker, and that would be visuals, or also known as interactions. So Stefan, let me place the mic over to you again.
Thank you, Paulina. So, iSpring Visuals. iSpring Suite 9 will introduce 12 interactions for use in a huge variety of training situations. These interactive templates will help you present your training content and engage learners. For example, interactions will help you show product development stages, transaction cycles, or the history of your company. Working with interactions is no harder than heating up a slice of pizza. Just choose a suitable template and fill it with your text and images. Interactions have a customizable design that's very easy to fine-tune to match your corporate style. Okay, let's dive into some examples of how these interactions will help you present course content and engage learners with a lot less work. Tabs. This interaction will help you present well-structured content in a compelling way. For example, in a management course, you can explain how to set SMART goals or describe how a SWOT analysis is conducted. FAQ. When a new employee starts their onboarding program, they have a lot of questions on corporate software, duties of team members, and payroll. With this transaction, you can create an engaging FAQ that will help newbies get answers fast without distracting employees from their tasks. Glossary. Quickly create a glossary of terms, a dictionary, or a catalog with easy navigation. For example, you can compile a catalog of insurance products to quickly introduce newbies to this topic. Or if your company is launching an e-learning department, create an e-learning glossary so that all employees can speak the same language. Accordion. With this interaction, you can show a call handling procedure or even organize an online office tour for interns so that they can explore your office and their future workplaces. You can see this example on your screen right now. Then, timeline. This module will show an employee the key events of your company's history and explain to them how your values were formed. In a product training course, a timeline will help you present the product development stages to track changes. Then, steps. This interaction will help you train your employees to act automatically in problem situations. For example, you can use steps to provide your tech support with a step-by-step guide on how to deal with an angry client, or describe the procedure for dealing with a fire in a general safety course. Then, cyclic process. This interaction will be of help if you create courses on industrial processes and safety. For instance, you can show how part cutting or raw material processing is performed. With this template, you can show any repetitive process. For example, a Deming cycle, which is a cycle decision-making process that is used in quality management. Then, circle diagram. In welcome courses, the circle diagram will help you visualize your brand values or show how your target audience is segmented. Labeled graphic. This interaction makes it much easier to describe what a complex device or mechanism consists of, show product features, or teach your employees to work with a new software interface. Guided image. Draw learners' attention to details when explaining how equipment works or when describing a complex diagram. One more use case for this template is in a course for salespeople who need to visually present a product to customers. Then, Hotspot. With this template, you can present a layout of products or components. And if your company sells products online, Hotspot is a great way to show regions with various shipping options so that managers can answer questions faster. In medical courses, this interaction will help learners to master the structure of human organs and systems. Or, as you can see on the screen, this example is of a health and nutrition basis course. Then, media catalog. Create a catalog to help employees quickly navigate through the products offered by a company. It is a great template for product training in the spheres where products can be easily shown visually. For example, if you sell clothes, furniture, devices, or food. As I said, these were just the highlights of iSpring Suite 9, the features that we are proud of the most. There are also dozens of small improvements and new features to make sure your content works perfect, even in the most recent updates of browsers on computers and mobile devices. And now I'm really looking forward to hear Debbie's opinion on the visuals section. Polina?
Thank you very much, Stefan. And yes, Debbie, ready to chat a little bit?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, wonderful. So, Debbie, tell us, which interactions did you have a chance to try?
So actually, I tried all of the different interactions. I got in and I wanted to look at them to see what they could do. And I'd also like to mention that there are some great demos of these interactions. The things that you're seeing now, there's a place on the website that you can actually go and download those so you don't have to start from scratch. You can see how those interactions are done.
Right, thank you very much. And where would you deploy those interactions?
So I've actually started working with the interactions with a couple of my clients. I work with a lot of enterprise organizations that have multiple people that develop courses as teams. So we've set up and gone through and created our own customized color scheme so that we can use them in all the different interactions. And we've started to make our own samples and demos of each of the interactions so that the group has a consistent look and feel for the interactions that they're going to be using.
Awesome, thank you very much. And which interactions did you like the most? And which of them you maybe didn't like that much? And what would you like to improve?
Well, you know, I liked all of the interactions and I can see a place for them. Of course, I think the most standard interaction is probably going to be the tab interaction. That's the kind of interaction that is going to be quick and easy for, especially for our subject matter experts to employ. But I'd love to see people use some of the other interactions. And I think if we have, good examples for them, that's going to be key, because people, you can have lots of really good tools, but if you don't have an example to show them the proper way to use that tool, then they're going to get lost. So I think that that's going to be super important. And the one that I really liked, or the two that I liked, were the labeled graphic and the guided image. I think those two are going to be really great. I'm working on a project right now where we're trying to explain how to use an e-commerce website. So we're going to use the label graphic to show different parts of the website before we take them through an actual demo, kind of explain why certain things are where they are. And that's going to be a great way to do that.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Debbie. And I would like to read the comment from Gerald. The visual interactions look compelling. This will drive us to do as Debbie did, pull our authors together to storyboard this so that we make the best use of them. So thank you very much again, Debbie, for your detailed feedback, and very much appreciated. And now I would like to ask you guys, all of you, Mike, Michael, and Debbie, how would you rate your experience with iSpring Suite 9 on a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 is super negative and 10 is excellent? So let's start with Mike Sarantola.
I'm going to give it a solid 9, which is ironic at the same time. The only update at this point that I would like to see in terms of iSpring would be variables and if-else conditions. Aside from that, I feel like all of the important feedback that everyone has been suggesting over the past few years has been integrated, has been looked at. The support team does a good job at addressing our feedback and integrating them in newer versions. So very happy to see what the future has in store for updates.
Awesome, thank you. And right now I would like to ask the same question, Michael Shiashi.
I'm envious of Mike's 9. I'm going to give it a rock solid 8. And that doesn't mean that I find issue with it. I think what I see is fantastic. I need more testing. I need to drill down into it. As I mentioned, I need to look at the accessibility capabilities of the tool. As Mike mentioned, the interest in variables and some logic in it. But again, rock solid improvement over what I've seen thus far.
Thank you. And what about you, Debbie? What would you give?
So I'm going to give it also a 9. And I'm going to say, from the interaction standpoint, I think the interactions are great. There are some room for improvement. For example, there was a comment about having the user go through all of the different components in the interaction before they can leave. I think in some cases that would be very important. I'd also like to see you guys amp the interactions up. I want to be able to synchronize the audio and the text on the screen and have some animation to make some of the things a little more interesting, for example, in the tab area. But other than that, good job. I'm looking forward to really diving in and creating some work with it.
Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing, guys. I think right now we are ready for the Q&A session. And before we move on to it, I read a question from Hunter. He says, what is the website? Oh, so many questions. I've lost it. What is the website Debbie was referring to with examples already set up? So I have shared the link right now, Hunter. So you will see it in the chat box, and I'm going also to share it with everyone else so you guys can go there. This is the iSpring Solutions website, and you can just go there and download whatever example you like, and then in iSpring Suite 9 you will be ready to play with it and just set it up to however you like. Okay, so I would like to ask Michael Sarantola at this point, because I've seen him responding to some of the questions that we received in the chat box. Were there any of them that you would like to highlight at this point? I saw a lot of...
I'm still trying to scroll through all of them. There's quite a lot, as you said.
I see a lot of people are talking about variables, and like you mentioned, this would be a big plus to have them in the product.
I feel that's the last thing that iSpring needs to become a tier above its competitors in the industry today.
That's good to hear. Thank you. Okay, so there's a question from Naylan. He asks, is there any update or enhancement in the dialogue simulation component for Suite 9? So Stefan, can I ask you to answer this question, please?
The major improvement there is the interface. So we basically make the interface. We decided not to use the Flash interface anymore, and to switch to I think I'm not sure which interface we switched to, but that's the interface that would work on your high DPI monitors. So some of the users who had really big, modern, and great displays, they might have had issues working with the TalkMaster part of iSpring Suite because everything was a bit too small there. And right now in version 9, they won't have this issue anymore. So everything is perfectly usable there. So yeah, that's the main improvement. So the interface. As to the functionality part of TalkMaster, it's pretty much the same as in version 8.
Thank you very much, Stefan. And the next question is, sorry, the next question on visuals is from Patrick. Hi, folks. I have a question about the visuals option. I'm sorry, so many questions have disappeared again. As my company focuses on compliance training, that sometimes means we need to force learners to complete all content. Are there any mechanisms within those visual tools that allow us to force people to complete an entire visual rather than just launch it and then skip over it and do the next PowerPoint slide? So, who would like to answer this question? Stefan, can you step in and
Yeah, absolutely.
take care of it?
So I think the best solution in that case would be actually to set slide duration for this slide. For example, like the duration that you feel the users need to view the whole this visual module, or and then your users will be forced to go through the whole visual module before they can click next and go to the next slide. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do this.
Thanks a lot, Stefan. And there was a comment from Melissa. On a side note, does iSpring host workshops to creating their learning with experts and teams that are live and may a day, so we are not passive in this process? So in this case, I would like to ask Melissa if you have been to any of our online workshops. Could you please let me know? Because this is actually a very good point to promote our next webinar, which will be a workshop on the quiz maker. So we will be going over the new features and showing you how you can actually create different types of questions and walk you through all the new options in the quiz maker, and I will be sharing the link to it in the chat right now, so you guys are more than welcome to sign up for it. It's going to be May 10th, Thursday, so I think that's a good day to join the webinar. Okay, so the next question is from Kimberly. With the new interaction options, is there a way to disable the next button the screen until all interactions have been clicked?
I think it's a question to me, right?
Yes.
No, this option is not available at the moment, but I think it would be a really nice improvement. So I definitely submit this as a feature request to our product development team.
If
Yeah.
I can add a point on that, we had a requirement from a client to actually do that. In our terms, we call it to gate a page. And what we had to do as a workaround until this feature will be implemented is to remove the previous and next buttons from the iSpring player and put them in the PowerPoint slide themselves. Afterwards, what we did as I guess, as a hack would be to copy and paste the background image on top of the previous and next buttons, and it fades away once it detects you've clicked all the pop-ups on one slide.
Yeah, that's a good way to do that. Yeah, but I think the question is about the visuals part. So
Right.
if there is an interaction, well, it's a good way, Michael. It's a really good way to do that if it's just PowerPoint slides. But if it is some of the interactions that was created in iSpring visuals, I believe that the only way to do that is to set slide duration and then limited navigation so that the users are forced to view the slide with interaction for this period of time that you set.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Stefan. And I have also noticed a lot of questions if it's possible to use green screen videos in the new iSpring Cam Pro.
Yeah, it's a question to me. Yeah, it's not possible at the moment, but again, it might be a really good improvement for one of our future updates and maybe even upgrades. Um, but it's well, there is a pro in its name, but it's not that professional at this point. But we are really looking forward to what we are going to have in, I don't know, maybe iSpring 10. Yeah, that would be a really great improvement.
If I could jump in here just really quickly, and I noticed that question as well. So that's an important thing to ask, and a lot of us in eLearning use the green screen. I think Stefan's done a great job of answering it. So one thing I will say is as we think about the tool itself, remember it's a video editing capture tool, and usually what we see in the chroma key or the green screen or blue screen is it's a compositing. So there are ways to composite your video, to take out the chroma key in some open source and free versions we could talk about offline, but remember that what we've looked at is the video tool itself being condensed down into its bare essentials to get the editing done, which that's what this does. But I think it's a great point that it also may be something that's needed in the future. So.
Thank you very much. And I would also like to read a couple of comments from Albert. A comment: interactions reduce development time dramatically. Are you guys agree with that? I would like to ask Debbie on that point.
Oh, definitely. I think they're really going to make just going in and trying to do that by hand. If you try to do that in PowerPoint, it would take you a really long time to do it. So being able to do that in the interaction is great. And I also want to mention, if anybody hasn't tried it, is that you can actually use iSpring Visuals on its own. So you can create an interaction and publish it out by itself. So if you're looking to do something that's going to be a quick micro learning piece, you can do that as well. I'm thinking about doing some of that for the sales folks in this e-commerce course that I'm creating.
Oh, interesting. That's really great to hear, Debbie. And by the way, Debbie featured in one of our webinars previously about the ins and outs of mobile learning project management. And for those of you guys who are interested in watching this webinar, I'm going to share the link right now so you can take a look at it and enjoy, because it was a great piece of information. And Robert says, Debbie, that's a great idea. I hadn't thought of that. So thank you very much. And also, Melissa says, thank you so much. I love the webinars. I also know I learn best in the moment when designing, and these new features can be pulled in if I'm not maximizing. Thank you very much for that comment, Melissa. All right, so at this moment, I would like to thank all of our experts who joined our webinar today, and I think that that was a great piece of information that you guys shared with us regarding the new version, the new updates in version 9, and I would like to thank all of our attendees who came and joined us, and you are guys so active, and we're taking care of all the questions that are coming in right now. And I promise if there are some of them that are not taken care of by the end of the webinar, we will be getting back to you via email. So guys, don't worry. The recording of this webinar will be sent to you as soon as it's uploaded to YouTube. So guys, don't worry again. You will be able to review it at your own pace sometime later. And again, if you are interested in getting this new version 9, please send your email in the question box, and my colleague Yana, who is on the webinar with us today as well, will get back to you after the session. All right, so let's read through some of the other comments. From George, for example, is it possible to have a pause feature button to pause a PowerPoint slide that includes audio and animation features? So, Stefan?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's. I mean, absolutely, it is possible. So it's one of the like basic features of iSpring. So yeah, you will be able to pause at any time of your slide of your presentation. And you can rewind the audio, rewind the animations if you want, go back to previous slides to review them, go back to the next slides, and so on. Yeah, so it is possible. There is a timeline that you can use to fast forward, to go back, and so on.
Awesome, thank you very much. And there's also a comment/question from Kristen Peterson. I've been navigating through the new iSpring 9 with a 14-day trial. It's super user-friendly and very easy to navigate. I love the interactions. I would love to be able to edit the layout and text sizes of some of the interactions. For example, the cyclic chart, the labels on the chart are very small, and I'd like to be able to resize. Is that possible to do, Stefan?
I think so, actually. Yeah, absolutely. So if you want, I can even show it to you right now if you want, if we have some time.
Sure.
Just give me a second. I'm going to launch PowerPoint here and then create a slide and then go to the interaction. And then, I don't know, let's create a steps one. And here is just some sample text, and I think you can go to the format text and then resize your, if that's what you were asking, or was it something different, Polina? I might have missed the point, sorry, but I think I get it correctly. Polina? Would you mind putting the...
I think
I
she
think
was
she was talking about the text labels.
Oh, text labels. Sorry, my bad. I think, yeah, I think that's an interesting one. I think actually, if you publish it as a separate, well, I mean, outside of PowerPoint, if you publish your visuals outside of PowerPoint, I think you can change the size of your interaction. I think if you scale it to something bigger than 100%, I think your buttons, the text labels are going to be bigger, and hence the text on the label is going to be bigger. I think so. I might be mistaken. I'm really sorry. We can try it. Let me do that. I think it's a bit bigger, no? I might be mistaken. But anyway, you can play with that. Make the size of your interaction a little bit bigger. You can do that, in the publishing menu. So here in the size, I think it might give you what you want. And if it doesn't, if you don't mind, can you send us an email to our email address, support@iSpringSolutions.com, and I see what we can do for you. I'll just need some time to troubleshoot it and test around and play around a bit. I'm pretty sure that there might be a solution to your question.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Stefan. So we have time for another couple or three questions, and there's a question from Robert. Do you do one-on-one training? Sometimes I'm trying to figure something out, and I can't quite figure out how to make it work best, especially the simulation conversations. And at this point, Robert, I would say that we do all our training online, and you can actually request the online training session. So if you're interested, please let me know and I will get back to you with more details after the webinar. And another question is from Nailin for Michael Shiashi. Can we publish 3D objects inserted in a slide through Suite 9? The new feature in Office 365 also allows users to present 3D rotationary view in the slide of the 3D objects. Michael, your comment on that? We can't hear you.
Oh, we can't hear you.
How about now? Sorry.
Perfect.
Yep, that's great.
My bad. So I had a lot of important stuff to say, and it's gone now. No, I'm teasing. So Mike and I had this question come up. Remember Mike at the conference recently? So I remember in version 8, it supported it. It didn't have, it had still visuals for the 3D models. It didn't support the rotation. I have not tested it in version 9, but again, what they're talking about is the ability for Office 365 3D models to be imported and rotated and have some sort of animation in version 9. So Stefan, do you have any answer about that?
I think also in the new version of Office, we had the morph slide transition, which allowed you to create an animation based on having it rotated on one slide and then rotated it on another slide, but that is only available in the newest version of Office 365.
Yeah, I think we do not support it yet. I'm pretty sure that this is something we are working on. If you really want to have something of a 3D feel on your slides, I think Michael has it in some of his presentations. He added several images on different slides, right, Michael?
Yes.
And yeah. If you don't mind, would you tell us more about it? How you work, how you use this workaround to create something of a 3D feel on your slides?
Sure. Go ahead, Mike.
So I'm not that experienced in 3D. So when I was asked to create a 3D version of a respiration mask in PowerPoint, what we did was put it on a Lazy Susan, which is those round things for your table. We put up a camera on a tripod and we took snapshots of it at all of the angles. What we did then was put a still of the picture that would open up in a pop-up in PowerPoint with previous and next arrows. And as you clicked it, it would rotate the image, simulating a full 3D loop around. Obviously, we did this with about 6 to 7 PNGs and not necessarily dynamic, like you can click and drag and hold like in other 3D models, but it was the best we can do with the tools we had available.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Michael.
And I just will add to that very briefly. I'm going to add in the chat a website you can go to. It's Sketchfab, where you can import 3D models. And rather than do the turntable, which is a fantastic solution that we were talking about, you can actually put a 3D model and allow the viewer to rotate, go back and forth. It's an HTML embed. So the idea is if you could put YouTube videos or an external HTML web object in iSpring, you can do this as well. So I'm going to put that in the chat for those that are interested.
Awesome. And referring to Michael Sarantala response, I would say that's how you make PowerPoints. That's how you turn static PowerPoints into interactive online content. And I'm going to share the link to his webinar on this topic in the chat right now, so you guys are more than welcome to enjoy this one as well. So I think that you have a lot of content to look at your free time and enjoy, because these experts are wonderful and amazing and I love all of them. So Thank you very much, Debbie, Mike, and Michael for coming today.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys, and I will see you at the next webinar. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Jana, and thank you, Anna, our secret support agent who took care of all the support questions in the chat box. Enjoy the rest of the day, everyone, and see you at the next webinar. Bye-bye.